Enthusiasts can tell they're looking at something special when they see the all-new 2016 Mustang GT350. At first glance, it doesn't look that much different from a regular GT model, but with a closer look, you'll see all sorts of interesting differences that make the GT350 one of the most unique and historic Mustang models ever released. I'm Austin with AutoFair, here to tell you 17 interesting facts about the GT350. Many believe that Ford's goal was to take down the Camaro Z28 by offering a more affordable and polished competitor. But Ford Performance's chief engineer, Carrie Baldori, says its aspirational competitor is the Porsche 911 GT3. That's because the Z28 is purely a track car. It's not meant to be a daily driver. So Ford, however, wanted to build a car that you could enjoy every day, whether you're at the track or wanted to go out for the weekend. Whether they succeeded will ultimately be up to the owners, but we're here to uncover the details that have made the GT350 one of the most talked about cars of 2016. Let's start with the outside. Up front, the GT350 is actually wider and lower than a standard 6th-gen Mustang. Because of this change, every component on the front end is unique. From the hood, to the fenders, to the bumper, the GT350 is completely different, only sharing standard model headlights, just set about an inch lower from a regular Mustang. Getting closer to the front end, one of the GT350's most subtle touches comes into focus, the Shelby logo on the front lip. This differs from recent GT500s, which featured Shelby across the rear of the vehicle. Moving along the car, you'll notice the vents along the fenders. With a monstrous engine, these are necessary to extract hot air from the engine bay. While looking at the fenders, you might even notice the giant Brembo brake calipers attached to the most powerful brakes ever fitted to a production Mustang. 6-piston, 15.5-inch rotors up front, and 4-piston, 15-inch rotors in the back. Now, looking at the beautiful black 19-inch aluminum wheels, you might be asking yourself, why have I only seen black wheels on the GT350? Does Ford not offer any other options? Well, that's because they don't, but there's a reason for that. The chief engineer for SVT told Car and Driver magazine, the brake pads we used create so much dust that customers just hate it. You drive the car once with plain wheels, and they're dirty after a short drive. So that's why we've got dark wheels. On the GT350R, Ford includes carbon fiber wheels, something you won't often see on a car outside of the exotics. While the wheels are great and all, it's the tires most enthusiasts will want to know about. There's no reason to worry, you're in good hands with Michelin Pilot Supersport tires with the tread face, sidewall design, and compound specifically optimized for the GT350. Available with the optional track package on the GT350 is a MagneRide suspension. First employed by General Motors and available across many performance Chevy and Cadillac models, the GT350 is the first Ford to ever offer it. MagneRide utilizes magnetically controlled dampeners to allow for an adaptive ride. If you choose a GT350R, MagneRide suspension comes as standard. Moving to the rear, you'll find a beautiful active exhaust system that allows you to show off when you want to or lay low when necessary. Looking closely at the exhaust tips, you'll notice the heat extractors that are constantly working to ensure your tips stay nice and cool when you decide to push the GT350 to its limits. When you open the hood, you're immediately greeted by an amazing 5.2-liter flat crank V8 that produces 526 horsepower and 429 pound-feet of torque. In case you're wondering, that makes it the most powerful naturally aspirated V8 ever. And it redlines at 8,200 RPMs. Ford is so proud of their engine and their team that they've included a plaque engraved with the signatures of the people who built it. In front of the engine, you can't help but notice the carbon fiber grille reinforcement. This makes the GT350 more rigid for an even stiffer chassis. Inside the GT350, you'll find the same interior from the standard Mustang with a few interesting additions. Ford added Recaro seats and matching Alcantara wrapped steering wheel with centering line to immerse you in the track driving experience as much as possible. If you opt for the technology package, you won't be able to get the track package. However, both do come with the MagneRide suspension. Also included in the technology package are many comfort features you might want if you're planning on using the GT350 as a daily driver. such as the Sync 3 system, 7-speaker audio, power driver and passenger seats, leather-trimmed and cooled front seats, dual-zone automatic climate control, navigation, and much more. Once you're on the road with the GT350, you can take advantage of many different drive modes, including Sport, Weather, Track, and Drag Strip. Track Mode unlocks track apps, which allows you to modify your driving preference for the best experience at your local track. You can line lock your front wheels to allow the rear wheels to spin freely, start launch control, set your exhaust to normal or sport, and even add shift indicators to the bottom of the windshield. There's a lot to love with the GT350, but I'm sure some of you out there will find something to hate. Either way, we want to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell us what you think about the GT350.